The fact is that moving to Surrey just might not be for you. Sure, moving to Surrey, or anywhere else for that matter, is an exciting idea, but it always comes with its own set of surprises, things that you might have wished that you knew prior to ever moving there. And if you don't understand some of these challenges prior to making that move, well, it's gonna really catch you off guard. It might make you really regret your choice, leaving you really frustrated with your decision and even second guessing what you just went through. And we wanna, of course, avoid that. For anyone living in the Lower Mainland, we know that Surrey is always in the news, and some of it for really great reasons, but not always great. You know, it gets its fair share of a bad rap. And if you've been doing your homework on Surrey, there's many common concerns that you've already heard about, but these only really scratch the surface of what you need to know. You've heard about the things like the traffic congestion. Surrey's main roads like King George Boulevard, 152nd Street, and Fraser Highway are infamous for heavy traffic during peak hours. You've also heard about the SkyTrain coverage. While the SkyTrain is great in Whalley and Central City, and is eventually being extended down Fraser Highway to Langley, most areas, due to Surrey's size, rely mostly on buses and cars and are underserved by public transit. You've likely heard about the rapid development going on in Surrey, with construction projects being absolutely everywhere. New buildings, road expansions, and ongoing infrastructure upgrades reshaping the city on a daily basis almost everywhere you visit. While these are some of the more well-known concerns, today's video is to dive into 3 of the concerns that you probably aren't aware of, and I want to dive into these because these can truly shape your experience of what it's like to live here. Who am I? Well, my name's Darren. The German group and my real estate team have been selling in the Surrey, White Rock, and surrounding municipality neighborhoods since 2007, and we want to make sure you know exactly what you're getting into when you relocate to this community. And if today's video doesn't cover all your questions, feel free to book a call with me and my team down below, and we'll make sure you get all the answers that you're looking for. So the first one that I want to dive into is one that looms over Surrey's head and has been looming over their head for years and years and years, and that is public safety. Surrey's reputation for safety is improving, but public safety concerns still vary significantly by neighborhood. Some areas like Whalley have had historically higher crime rates, while other areas like South Surrey feel much safer, but it really depends on where you live. If you don't research the various areas and the neighborhood safety that you're gonna get, because let's face it, Surrey is a monstrous municipality, you might end up moving into an area that doesn't align with your comfort level, and this could really impact the quality of your life. You know, we meet clients all the time, and these clients are people who have moved into Surrey previously, whether they're renting or they bought something, and they're finding their neighborhood isn't exactly what they expected. And oftentimes they're calling us because they just want a better quality of life, and more so to feel much safer for their families. They want to know which neighborhoods are best for safety and which others are still struggling maybe to maintain a little bit more control than they really have right now. And we've done lots of videos on this in our Moving to Surrey playlist, so if you're curious about those neighborhoods, you can definitely go check that out. But I want to give you some actionable items on top of just watching some of the videos that we've done on this very topic. And of course, the first one is researching the local crime stats through the RCMP. Now, the city of Surrey just moved over to a new policing service. It is fresh. It just happened. However, the RCMP has great statistics and information about the various levels of crime and what types of crime are happening in each of the individual neighborhoods on their website. This is something that was released quarterly. Now, hopefully the Surrey Police Service continues to do this as well, but that is something that was released on a regular basis on the website to help you be better informed about what's going on in the various neighborhoods. Additionally, you're going to want to visit different neighborhoods at different times of the day to get a good feel for the safety, or additionally, you're going to want to talk to a local or a realtor who knows the area well and has your best interests in mind. Nobody wants to move to a neighborhood where they don't feel safe. For the second on our list, we're going to talk a little bit about cultural diversity. Surrey's cultural diversity is incredible, but sometimes it can create challenges with community integration. We've worked with many clients who initially felt a little bit out of place with the first choice in the neighborhood that they decided on when they originally came to Surrey. But they also grew to love it as they got more involved in the community and started to build relationships with those in the community and their neighbors. The fact is, Surrey is one of Canada's most diverse cities, and this cultural richness is one of its greatest strengths. People from all over the world call Surrey home, creating vibrant neighborhoods filled with diverse languages, foods, and traditions. However, it's not uncommon for newcomers, whether from another part of Canada or another country, to feel out of place if they move into an area where a single cultural community predominates. And this isn't about any particular culture being more challenging than another, far from it. Rather, it's about any person, regardless of their background, how they might feel adapting and adopting themselves into a new environment. Moving to a neighborhood where the culture feels unfamiliar can take time to adjust, particularly if you're not fluent in the predominant language spoken locally, or if you're unfamiliar with the cultural cultural norms and traditions. And for families with school-aged children, this dynamic can present many opportunities, but it can also present many challenges too. Surrey's schools are incredibly diverse, with students from a wide range of cultural backgrounds. And while this diversity fosters learning and growth, schools with many English language learners may have unique classroom dynamics that parents should consider. Some parents might appreciate the exposure to different perspectives, while others might prefer schools with additional resources to support English as a second language programs. If you don't take the time to understand the cultural dynamics of the neighborhood that you choose to call home, you might feel isolated or disconnected despite living in a world-class, multicultural, thriving city. So what do? What to keep in mind to make sure that you are picking the best community for you? Number one, remember that integration takes time. Becoming part of a diverse community is rewarding, but often requires stepping out of your comfort zone to connect with neighbors and local events. Explore the neighborhoods to find one where you feel a sense of belonging, whether it's because of the people, the amenities, or just the general vibe. And if you have children, you're going to want to research the schools in Surrey and make sure you're picking the absolute best one for you and your family's needs. You're going to want to make sure they have the resources that you require, especially if English is a second language or if you value specific cultural or extracurricular programs. Surrey's got some really great events that you can attend as well to get yourself right involved into the community. And one of those, the most popular and one of the biggest, is definitely the Fusion Festival. You could also check out neighborhood farmers markets to meet people and experience the city's vibrant culture. You're going to want to look for community centers and programs that align with your interests, from language classes to cultural celebrations, and also take time to connect with neighbors, because small conversations, well, they can build lasting friendships. This way, if you do end up being in an incredibly diverse community, maybe a little bit different than what you were either looking for or where you're coming from, you're going to absolutely love not only the people, but your choices. The third on our list is the future development path that the city of Surrey is going down, as well as the city's growth. Surrey is one of the fastest growing cities in Canada, and its future development plans are both exciting and incredibly disruptive. Surrey's rapid growth is a double-edged sword, completely depending on what your perspective is. We have some clients that we meet through this YouTube channel that are so excited about the development and all of the new things that are coming to various locations in Surrey. They love the development. They love the new amenities being added. They love that there's more people out and about, and it's getting a lot more of a city vibe in various areas throughout the municipality. Knowing things like additional transit options and retail and more would not only make their lives more convenient, but also potentially boost their property values. On the flip side, we've got clients that are completely terrified about the rapid growth of Surrey and the disruptive nature of what is happening on their day-to-day lives. They're concerned that the high-density housing being planned might force them to move or change the feel of their community. Surrey's transformation is undeniable, and whether it excites you or worries you, understanding the city's future plans is essential for navigating its growth. There's no doubt, from things like the Surrey to Langley SkyTrain extension or the rapid development of densification type housing in the city of Surrey, the city is transforming rapidly, and it's not always something that's easy to adjust to. If you move to Surrey and you don't understand the growth trajectory for the neighborhood that you're choosing, you could end up living in a neighborhood that has ongoing construction delays and building, densification changing incredibly for the better or for the worse, depending on your perspective, or you could end up living far away from things that you either value or are terrified from, like rapid transit hubs. So what do you do to make sure that you're best educated about this stuff before you make your move? Well, first, you're going to want to learn about future development plans for the neighborhoods that you're considering. You're also going to want to choose areas that will benefit from new infrastructure like transit or parks, and of course, be prepared for temporary disruptions if you're near a major project site, which seems to be almost everywhere in Surrey. And of course, you want to talk to the locals or a local real estate professional who knows exactly what's going on in the city, which is likely one of your better bets as well. Which is actually a great time to mention, if you are thinking of purchasing a home, not only can you contact us in the description below, but also take advantage of our 21 grants and rebates PDF download, which you can find in the description. It's going to let you know a ton of ways that you can save some money if you are buying a home in 2025. There's so much to unpack when it comes to living in the city of Surrey, and we just went over some of the top 3 things that I think are important for you to make sure that you pick the absolute best community for you and your family. And if you found this video valuable and you think someone else might benefit from learning about these things as well, please click the like button or share it with somebody you know looking to come to the area and help them get the same good information that you just got by watching this. And speaking of development and all the things going on in the city of Surrey, there was a massive shakeup that just came into effect, not only in Surrey, but in municipalities all across British Columbia, which is going to have a major impact on what the future of our city looks like in terms of densification education, population, and more. And that video is coming up next. I look forward to seeing you over on the next one.